Okay, so far we completed the discussion of the background introduction, ERP, SAP, and what we are going to do in next 4 months. So all these things we covered. Next one, like maybe Sadia, you have this knowledge about this ASAP methodology, but still I have to do because it's required for Kishan. So all these things we will do practically in future once we will do the configuration. Let me give you brief idea like how the project is implemented in a company. So let's say there is one company. So for them we will do the implementation or we will do the SAP installation for them. Okay, let's say it's Novartis. So here Novartis is your end client, and let's say they hired Accenture for the implementation of their SAP project. So Accenture is the implementing partner, consulting firm, channel partner, whatever you can say. So they are the implementing partner or consulting firm. So whatever the project, it's not specifically SAP, whatever the any ERP or any software, when we will customize for any firm or any company, so we need all the informations regarding that company, their process, their operation strategy, everything. So that we should first with the consulting firm or the implementing team, then only we can give them the solution. So what is the process, how we will get this information from the end client or the Novartis? So it's not like we will ask all the questions to anybody from Novartis. So they should have the steering committee. Okay, before implementation or this SAP implementation, they should form the steering committee. Steering committee means it's some team of people. They will work with the consulting team or the Accenture people to get this SAP implemented. So before arrival of the consulting team, they should have formed their steering committee. So in steering committee, somebody should lead the project from Novartis side or from end client side, project heads. Then different department heads or process owners. Okay, let's say from production, GM production, CFO, GM purchase, like this. So they are the process owners. Within our under the process owners, we have some core team members. So core team members, actually they are the managerial people, okay, people from middle management, and they should have the complete knowledge about that business, so that they will closely work with consultants. So different, and in future these people will actually test the system when we will do the testing. So these core team members, they will be there in the testing process. So these people should be middle management and they should have complete knowledge, so who can help consultants to get the information or in requirement gathering. So let's say from client side, 4 core team members, manager 1, manager 2, somebody from costing, manager 4, like this. So these are the core team member. Core team members. So how we will proceed in the project, what should be our first point, what should we will do next, what is the time frame to complete the project, each and everything. There is a guidelines from SAP because when we are doing any implementation, if there is a failure in the project, so SAP is going to lose, like if there is a failed project, so it's a bad reputation for SAP. So that's why SAP is very strict about these guidelines, and all the companies, all the firms, those are involving in this implementation, maybe it's a big brand like Accenture or some small vendors, they have to follow this guidelines strictly. So it is called Accelerated SAP methodology, or commonly known as ASAP, Accelerated SAP methodology. So here we will complete the project in 5 phases. First phase is your project preparation. First phase is project preparation. So first the consulting team or the consultants of Accenture, they will move to the client place to get the complete knowledge about this, the what is business or their operation. So how we will get this operation information? Definite the client they have, or the Novartis, they have their SOP, standard operating procedure. So they can share this document, SOP, standard operating procedure, to respective consultants. Then from SOP and couple of meetings between the consultant and the core team members, if required process owners also. So that meeting is known as kickoff meeting, right? So this meeting between consultant and core team members. What is the requirement of this meeting? Here this process is known as requirement gathering. That means in this phase we will try to accumulate maximum knowledge about the business of the client. Then only we can give the solution or we can do the implementation. So here normally in kickoff meeting we can discuss any queries from SOP, or companies they have their questionnaire forms, they can circulate these questions to the core team members to get the information. So all these things they can discuss in a common platform and to get the information. Now the consultant they have some idea about the business. Consultant means, when I'm saying consultant, each consultant, it may be FI, CO, MM, SD, all the consultants, they will work on their respective modules. Consultant will prepare one document that is as is. So as is like existing business. For example, client is currently working on Oracle and they want to migrate from Oracle to SAP. So in Oracle they have their operation strategies there, some process should be there. So they shared all this information in SOP and it is also discussed in kickoff meeting. So from all these things, what, let's say if I am the FI consultant, what I understood from all these things, I will record all these things in as is, or we can say this is the existing process. Then another document that will be to be, that is your proposed. That means after implementation of SAP, what are the things you will get the solution? For example, let's say currently you are doing the bank reconciliation manually. That means there is no automated process is there. You are getting the information from Oracle system, you are getting the bank statement from your bank, and you are comparing these things manually, one transaction, one by transaction manually. So it's a manual process. In 2B, we will note what are the, like it, let's say in SAP it is automated process. So where we will start all these things. Okay, so maybe you can prepare a flowchart to explain all these things. So it should be there in the 2B. So the standard time for the project preparation, 2 to 3 months, maximum 4 months. Within this project preparation phase, client should procure the server and the team should be settled in new location or the client location. They should gather all this information. Okay. After that, the second phase is your blueprint phase. This is also one of the milestones in the project, blueprint. And it is also one of the important documents. So blueprint, BBP, business blueprint. So you can say BBP is the skeleton of the project. like on the basis of your blueprint, we will do our configuration. So related to configuration, each and everything should be there in blueprint. Once I will complete a FI, I will share you a blueprint so that you can work from there. Okay, and after CO, I will share one CO document too. You will work on from there. Actual blueprints. And after this explanation, I will show you the blueprint. Blueprint is nothing but just complete information about the client business process or related to SAP configuration. Each and everything should be there. So this blueprint sign up process is there. That means this blueprint should be accepted by core team members and the process owners. So in normal practice, first we will prepare a draft copy. We will send to them. Then they will go through this. If any amendments are required, they can suggest. We can add in our VBP if it is covered in the scope. What is scope? Scope document. Scope document or scope is like, let's say, for example, you contact the big class. Okay, this is your fees and we are going to cover these things. So they shared the syllabus. That means within this fees, we are going to cover these things. Similarly, within the budget, pre-approved, like what is your approved budget within this, what are the solution we will supposed to give to the Novartis. So this thing should be there in the scope document or the contract document. That means whatever is there in the scope, you should give the solution, or that should be in the blueprint. But practically, sometimes all the solutions are not possible from SAP normal practice. So that's why there is a gap analysis is also there. Gap means your scope versus BPP. That means you agreed you have to do the solution, and suppose due to some reason or we need some third-party software or some special configuration customization is required, some developments are required. So in that we should find out here, like what are the hurdles are there or why we can't give the solution. Then accordingly, maybe you will purchase some software or you have to do some configuration. So this thing should be there, or this should be addressed in your gap analysis report. But anyway, this blueprint should be finalized and that should be accepted by the team members, core team members. Once the blueprint is finalized, then only we will move to the next phase, that is the actual configuration phase. That is known as realization. So in realization phase, we will do the system configuration. That we are going to study here, what the configuration. So we will do the configuration. After that, testing. So until unless client will test our configuration, we can say our configuration is working fine or not. So different type of testing environments are there. One is your unit testing. Let's say before inviting to the client, first I will make sure that all my configurations are correct. All transactions are posting correctly. Whatever the report I supposed to get, I am getting all these things. So here, first I will make sure everything is working fine, or we can say testing by the consultant. Next, IT. Integration testing. Okay, so in introduction I explained like that procurement cycle or sales order cycle. That means, let's say integration testing, it's a cross module testing. For example, we supposed to post a GRN. If we are posting, or the MM people, they are posting a GRN, so your corresponding accounting document should be, or accounting entries should be there in the finance system. If we are getting the entries or we are getting the postings are there or documents are generated or transactions are happening in the FI system, so that means MM's configuration is correct, FI configuration is correct, and integration correct also properly done. If let's say GRN is there, that means in purchase GRN is working, whereas there is no entry in the finance. So maybe some problem with the finance configuration or integration. So these things we will find out here. So how the client will do this testing? So for this, before this testing, you have to give the end user training. This end user training is not like what the training you will get here. So it's user training. Let's say I'm the purchase person, right? So the consultant will give me the test training how I will use the system. Suppose somebody finance, he will work in accounts receivable. So certain activities access we will give them, and accordingly we have to give the training. That means how to, let's say, go for the collection, how to post a collection entry, how to post invoice. So as per their profile, what the management will suggest, okay, this people is handling these things, so we have to give the training. So this testing is not by all the user. Let's say there are 200 people are there, so this testing is not by 200 people. This testing is by, or this testing, this group of people, core team members, actually they will test selectively. So here we can run certain transaction codes. Transaction codes, different activity what we user will do here or we will do in the system. For example, let's say any transaction, for example some customer invoice. To post a customer invoice, this is the transaction code or this is the activity. So they can check the T code whether it is working or not. Okay. While doing this testing, I will explain
Excuse
that
me,
time.
sorry, Pradeep.
Yes, yes.
Uh, about the transaction codes, do they change every time or they are unique always?
They are globally accepted these transactions codes. Sometimes client they have their customized transaction codes.
Okay,
Okay,
right,
maybe if somewhere you have seen like it's starting with Z, that is the customized transaction code.
right. But SAP, this is the
Yes,
uniform
standard,
code or?
standard, standard.
Okay, right,
Okay,
right. Thank you.
normally in report you will find this customized transaction codes. Here maybe you just check this report. These transaction codes somehow unique. So these are the standard transaction codes. You just check this transaction code. It's a customized
Right.
transaction code.
So, okay,
Okay, so it's some with your cash management, some interface document transaction code. So this, in this situation, this is also a transaction your customized. It should start with C. Okay, so for this transaction code, first functional specification should be prepared. That should be passed to the ABAPer. Then they will design. They will create required your whatever the tables required. Then they will create the process flow. Then only it will work. Okay, while doing, I will explain. Assume that these transaction codes are perfectly running and everything is configuration is fine. But somehow client should accept this T codes, or client should accept like, yes, whatever the configuration is there, it is as per the blueprint and as per our requirement. So for that, we have to prepare some test scenario. Test scenario, different formats are there. Different company they used to use different formats. In simple language, if I will say test scenario, as I said, let's say I want to post a GL transaction. So for GL transaction, your T code is this one. Enter the GL posting. So formats may be different or anything, but content should be like this. So you want to post a GL transaction, or the core team member, they will post a GL transaction. So like if you prepare a test scenario for this, it should be like this. First you have to give a, okay, let me show you one document. Okay, you have to give the background. For this testing, you have to give the background. Then we have to create a scenario. This is your path, how to use the system through navigation, through transaction code. I will come to that in next. Then you have to explain the things in a flowchart. What is this GL posting? So you have some master data, you have debit entry, credit entry, all these things should be there. After that, you will create some kind of this scenario. So in this case, one ledger debit should be there. So that means, let's say ledger number 2000, it should be debited. Okay, I'm just giving a brief idea. In practically we will prepare this thing. So this should be debited, this ledger should be credited. So what is my expected result here? Expected result is we will get a GL report, or we will get a debit balance for this GL, we will get a credit balance for this GL. On that should be a GL report, right? Maybe you will write the T code for this. Then we will get a cost center report. Okay. Maybe you will get a profit center report. So these are our expected results, or it should, after this posting, this is your data entry. So after this posting, we are expecting this should be reflect in our reports. Now what is the actual result? Actual result is when we posted this expenditure, this entry, or the core team member, when they posted the entry, they got the first error. Okay, with some error number. Error is like this: tolerance is not updated. Or maybe another error, we are getting the GL report but no controlling document. Okay, no cost object in controlling, no controlling document, or no profit center document. So that means we can say this is a failed transaction. So expected result this one, actual result what are the, or if successfully posted, then we are getting this report. Then name of the tester, X, then signature. So like this we will prepare the test scenario, and that all these things should be documented. That document is known as your UAT, user acceptance testing. So randomly they can test some transaction codes, or maybe sometimes client hire testers. Okay, so to check the system they hire testers, that is the junior profile entry level staff, to check these transaction codes. Then they will mention whatever the transactions successfully run, or what there are all these things. So it should be recorded in your UAT. Based on your UAT, your invoice will be clear, or they can highlight this, accelerate these things, all these things will happen. So all these activities we will perform in realization phase. And here sometime performance testing can be also measured. Performance testing means it's system testing. For example, let's say we need to post a, or we need to create a purchase order. So in their Oracle system, how much time it was taking? Let's say 40 seconds. In SAP, how much time it is taking? Let's say it is more than 60 seconds. Then we have to find out the process. We have to find why it is taking so much time. First thing is the system is not supporting this configuration, or some upgradation is darkar in point of hardware, or the process is lengthy, so many fields are there, user need to enter all these things, or anything can be, we need to do the automatic. What is automatic? I can give you one scenario like this. For example, when we will post a transaction in, let's say, profit center related transaction, two options. One is your scenario 1. Everything should be manually entered. Okay, that means when user will enter the document, they have to enter a, like, customer debit, let's say sales entry, and one GL should be credit, and of course they have a sales office or their branch office. and there is a field of profit center also, profit center product 1. So there are so many inputs, data inputs fields are there, and user need to enter these things. This is manual process. So we can cut this process and we can do some automated like, if user will select sales ledger number 5000, branch office ABC, then automatically system will use the profit center as product 1. If user will select 5000 ledger, sales ledger, but profit center as, sorry, the business branch office as XYZ, then product 2 will be selected. So like this, we have to map the system, or we have to create a derivative relation or rule. So in that case, we can remove this entry, this input we can remove, but in report it will be there, but manual entries we can remove. So all these things again we have to map if it is taking more time, because client, they want the easy solution, that's why they are going to purchase the SAP. So accordingly these things should be taken care by the consultant. Anyway, all these testings done perfectly. Now we will move to the next part, that is your final preparation. In final preparation, whatever the failed items are there, or this T codes, whatever we are facing the issue, you need to do once again in the system, or we can say rework of your configuration. Then data migration. This is very important phase of your project. Data migration means it's not like any company started today and they will start doing the SAP. So they must be using some software, okay, and they are having some data, business transactions, master data, so different type of data is there. So our responsibility is we need to migrate those data from the old system to new system. So different data are there. One is your master record or master data. For example, client, they are having 2000 ledgers. So it is not possible to create 2000 ledgers in SAP system. So we will get the list of ledgers from the old system, and we can do some fine tune and we can upload in the new system as per the our system requirement. Because normally we will get the list in Excel sheet. They can extract a report and the end client or the core team member will provide to you. But that data will not read our system. So we have to do some more mappings or more editing work we have to do. So we have to convert that Excel sheet in such a format what our system will read. Okay, so for this we will use the technology LSMW. So it is not the functional consultant's role, like it's functional consultant roles, but this is a ABAP tool. So sometimes before it was handled by the ABAPers, but nowadays it is expected that functional consultant at least they can migrate their data. So for master data migration, we can use the LSMW, BDC, okay, BAPI, BADI, all these things we can use here. LSMW means Legacy System Migration Workbench. That means legacy system means old system. So here it is Oracle to SAP. Okay. Oracle to SAP. That is your legacy system. Oracle is the legacy system. Next, another data we have, that is the opening balance. So all the ledgers, so here in master record you have ledger master, customer master, vendor master, material, asset. So respective consultant, they can take care of their master data. Opening balance migration. So for this you can use the BTC, binary data conversion. So this is responsibility of the ABAP consultant. They have to write the program. Next, transaction data. Okay, so in transaction data means, because when the implementation is going on, simultaneously or parallelly the client is also, or their users are also working on Oracle system. So on a cutoff date, that means on this date we will transfer all the transaction data from Oracle system to new system. This is known as your cutoff date or activities, cutover activities. So anyhow, your all the new system data move to new system, then go live. So these are your ASAP methodology phases. Here in training, this preparation in like this kickoff meeting, all these things not possible. When you will work on project, that time you will interact with your client. But we will work on this part completely. Configuration testing and this one also. Okay. This preparation of what you call ASAP as is to be, this is not possible. So what is this blueprint? This is this document where we will do all the recording of your configuration data. Formats may be different project, different company, they have the different formats. Okay, this is the client and this is the implementing company. Team members from client side and from Wipro, that means project head, client side. So the team, those are involved in the project. Consultant name. So if you'll check this, same thing should be there in your syllabus. Okay, each and everything we will record here. Format may differ, but content almost same. As per the requirement, we have to do some changes and we have to, like what are the configuration we will do here, what is the background, all these things we have to do. Right now, maybe you will not able to understand. After doing configuration or demonstration, then I will share the blueprint. So that time you have to work on this blueprint. Like some different blueprint I will share, so you can work here. Any question here before I move forward or proceed further?
Sorry, I just wanted to understand, is it better to have end user knowledge of SAP when you start as a consultant? Like, I'm sure it will be very helpful to know what an end user does and what they expect.
That means activities of end user.
Yeah.
So like from training point of view you are saying, or from job point of view, what you saying?
No, like to be a consultant, when you're configuring a system, shouldn't we know what an end user expects also?
If you have, then it
Like,
is a added advantage.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, if you have, because I can say you already passed that phase. What they are doing right now, you already completed that phase. So when you will explain to them, like this is what you are doing, and we are here to give you this solution. Maybe you are facing this issue, so we have a better solution here. So like this.
Yeah,
But it's not mandatory. Like if you some people are, they don't have the SAP end user knowledge, they can
yeah,
start their SAP like a consultant. So it's okay. Limited
yeah,
activities are there in end user. But yes, if you have, then it's, of course it is, comfortability is there.
yeah. Because you see, it gives you an advantage that you understand the codes and stuff, transaction codes and
Somehow,
all that,
yes, somehow
and how they
comfortability.
post each transaction. So it would be helpful, I feel.
Little bit, not like that. Some like a
No,
large.
yeah,
Somehow,
definitely.
yes, yes. Somehow it will be give you the
You'll
comfort.
be familiar with the
Yes,
what
yes.
an
You
end
are familiar with
user.
that environment, that activities. So
That's right.
yes. Okay. Now the next one. So we should have the knowledge of system landscape. This is the technical stuff. So what is the system landscape? So here different type of servers are there. One is your development server. This is your quality server. Production server. In development server, in each server, we have multiple clients. Client is, don't confuse like it's nobody's. Client means it is one SAP system only. It is a set of your tables, ABAP programs, all these things. Okay. So this client should be, it is created by the basis consultant. Number can be anything, but this should be, client number should be 000 to 999. It can be anything. It may be 100 series, 200 series, 800 series, anything it can be. So it should be 3 digit. So basis consultant, let's say created here 100, 101, 102. 3 clients created. When I will log into the system, I will show you what is client. In here, a client you have, like this is your SAP server, R3 structure. That means you have database, application and presentation, 3 layers. So whatever this is known as your development client or golden client. So this is our development client. So that means from blueprint, all the configuration we will do it in 100 client or the development client. 101 maybe we will use for unit testing. For our testing purpose, we will use this one. Client will not bother about this testing. They are focusing or they are focused on IT or the actual testing. This one, sandbox. Sandbox is like if you want to do some R&D or something you want to do your own, so you can use the sandbox. Why not this development client? Maybe due to this your research work or due to your configuration, other consultants work may be affected. So due to that reason, if you are not doing anything, it's just like rough note. So doing a fair, we are doing some rough work, right? Similar to that sandbox. But anyway, all these are SAP system only. If I will log into the SAP system, okay, just for your like recap. So this is your server, and this particular system where I am accessing, this is known as the client. So I'm going to connect to the server. Okay, from this client to, as per my access, maybe I have access, if I'm the only end user, I will work on this area, so I have access to presentation layer. If I have the your application layer, so I can work on here, application and the presentation. So depends on your accessibility, you can access any particular layer or particular access. Anyway, so to connect this thing or to connect to the client to the server, we have a intermediary or there is a bridge that is known as your GUI, which I just shared to download or you are downloading. GUI or GUI, graphic user interface. So it will help us to connect to the client and server. Okay, so once we will do the installation in your desktop, you will find this type of icon. So this icon should be there. You will find this icon. Double click on this. Okay, you will find this type of one connection. Double click on this. This is your client number. So that means right now I'm going to log into the 800 client. Okay. So to log in, user ID and password. When you log into the system, the first screen it will appear, it is your presentation layer. This one. Okay. Display. Presentation layer, or it is also known as your EG access, end user screen. This particular window, it is called as session. So right now it is one session is open. So like this, at a time we can open 6 sessions or 6 screens, you can say. So like normal any other particular software, here also we have some menu bars, toolbars and different folders. Right now I am doing the system navigation, how to use the system. Different folders are there. You can see here a accounting folder. So under accounting folder you have finance, FICO, FACM, all this finance related stuff is there. You just expand this. How to expand? This one. Okay, in left side some arrow symbol is there, you just expand this one. Okay, these things are there. Similarly, under logistic you have purchase, sales, production, plant maintenance, these things are there. HR. Okay. Then again, this is your module FI. So this module, under this module, different sub modules are there. So end users, they will work on their area. It's not like all the end users, they have access to all the T codes or all the activity. Depends on their profile, they will get the access. Some people are end user, they don't have access to report. Or some people are the super user, they have access to master data, they can't create. For example, in each sub module, you will find a document entry, that is the entry. Then you have a master data option. So maybe they don't have access to master data, the user stuff. Okay, the super users or power users, they can access to this area. Okay, for example, you can work both because we have given access to you for access. If we will remove the master data access, so from your ID you can't work. So to perform a particular activity, okay, now we are in 800 client. So in each client you will find two segments. One is your this presentation layer and the application layer or the consultant area, that is known as your IMG, implementation guide. So you need to log into that. I will tell you, don't worry, I will tell you how to use this. So this area is there. Okay, so here you have the FI, CO, then you have SD, where is it? SD, MM, all these things are there. So here we will do the settings, configuration, customization, and in outside as a consultant, we will check our system. And right now I am accessing 800 clients. Let's say I have access one more client, same SAP system only. Change the client number. If you have the access, you can access to that client also. So this is also same SAP system. Here you have the end user area and the configuration area. Okay. If you have one more access, so this is nothing but same SAP. So depends on your client availability or client access, you can work in different client. So here, let's say in development, these three clients are there, and we will do all our configuration in development client. Now the core team members, they will check the system not in the development system, because we don't give the users or core team members access in development server. It's because maybe they can tamper something, or maybe our configuration hamper. So that's why we will not give this access to, or give them access to development server. So for them we have a different server, quality server is there, let's say 200. So there they will perform all the end user activity, or they will check different transaction codes, testing purpose. So as per their UAT, they will perform this. Now the,
Excuse me.
yes,
Can I ask you one
sure,
thing?
sure, sure.
Why are we numbering everything like 200, 100, 101? So why are we doing that numbering?
Because it's different SAP systems. It's let's say I will give one example. Let's say we are selling cars. We have a car showroom and we are selling cars. Some cars we segregated. Same car only we segregated. This is for test drive purpose. That means for test drive purpose, let's say we picked 2 3 cars. So it's car only, same model car only. What we are selling, but just for different purpose. That's similarly some client or in some area we will do the configuration. In some other area, the user or the core team members, they will check the system.
No, I understand that part. I
Then,
totally understand this. I'm asking the numbering. Why are we numbering them like 100,
then
101,
how will differentiate
200?
the development client with the testing client?
No, I'm asking what is the numbering for?
Okay,
Where,
what is the procedure for numbering?
no,
Then,
like, does SAP understand this only with numbering or what?
yes, yes, yes. That's what I told you. It can be anything. This number can be anything, but it should be
Yeah.
numeric data, 000 to 999.
Okay.
Okay. So
Right. I understand now.
yes,
Yeah.
this number is given by the basis consultant. It's up to him. Whatever number.
It has to be a number between
Yes,
those
it should
0
be a
to
numeric.
999.
Yes.
Right.
Then
Thank you.
yeah, welcome. In production system, 300 number. So that means it's same SAP system, but here the regular users will work. So during in the phase of implementation, these two server will come to picture. Once implementation done, then on daily basis, this server we will work. This is production system, live system, whatever you can say. Now I have a question here. So how the user will post the transaction? That means in there also the configuration should be there. That means in testing server, if this is your testing server, so here you have two area, right? So in application, if we have the configuration, then only user will in easy access they can use the system. That is what we understood here. So they will check the system different activity here, but in backend the configuration should be there, then only it will work. Similarly, the users here also, if we have the configuration, then only they can do the daily activity. So here should be configurations there. But all I said, all our configuration is there in the development server, right? That means here. So it seems we have to do the configuration multiple times. One in development server, second time in quality server, third time in production server. It seems like that only. No, we will not do the configuration multiple times. We will do the configuration once in development server. Then from development server, we can move this configuration from development to any server, any client you want. Let's say for testing purpose, we will transfer all the configuration, right? Only configuration, not the master record. So this configuration, we can move from 100 client to 200 client. So now in 200 client, these configurations are already, it's there. So they can check the system, right? If something is not working, you just check here what is wrong with this configuration. Again, move this new configuration, that part. It's not like entire configuration will move. Let's say we are not able to post a, or we are not able to run the depreciation. Maybe some issue with the asset configuration. So no need to migrate all these things, or no need to check all the area. So when we will do the configuration, we will segregate our configuration. Okay, so you just check once again the asset related configuration and move that part to the quality server. Now it's working. So once all the T codes run successfully or properly executed, you transfer this configuration from development to production. So now this configuration is there. Configuration data is there in IMG, so user can access. So that's why when we will do the configuration, system will generate some transport number. While doing the configuration, I will show you. But configuration from consultant, it will be once in development. From development, we can move. So this is your system landscape. Now how to use the system? To access a particular screen, we have two options. We can use the system navigation step by step, and we can do the also certain T codes, shortcut T codes. So that's why in document you can find here two options are there. This is the end user document. Similarly, in your material also you can find one transaction code and path is there. You can see here to post a GL transaction, this navigation path is there and certain T code is there. T code is nothing but it's the ABAP program. That means whatever we are doing in backend, some program is running. So that program head is the this T code, ABAP program head. Okay, for each activity one program is there. If I will post a GL transaction, so I can use the system like this: accounting, financial accounting, general ledger, document entry, enter GL account document. Same is there. So after 3-4 steps, I can reach this screen. This is one option. Or if you know the transaction code, so this is the area we supposed to enter the transaction code. So you just enter the transaction code here. It's FB50. Then click enter. So within 1 second you can use this one. During our like practically in office when we are working, we are using the transaction code, but both options are there. In interview nobody will ask what is the transaction code for this or what is the path for this. They will ask, suppose they will ask this question, how to post a GL or GL document. So it's up to you. You can use the T code or you can use the path. Also,
So if I say FB50, it means GL
GL
entry.
document. Smart answer is to use the T code, because if you are using the T code, that means you have a very good experience in SAP system.
Right.
Because in
Yeah,
office nobody, yeah, in office nobody will use.
that's why I said working as an end user, it might help you. Because you'll know all the codes, right? If you're posting and stuff.
No, by heart is not possible, because in FI itself 800 T codes are there. So by heart is not
No,
possible.
not by heart. I'm saying when you use it as an end user. If you're an end user,
Then
if you've been posting it to the system, you'll automatically remember things, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Another option is there. Basically, this is suitable for end users. So if I am the accountant for GL related process, so daily basis, let's say I'm posting multiple times this GL posting. So instead of using T code or that, I can put this in my favorite folder. So you have a favorite folder is there. You can add this particular activity in the favorite folder. Okay, accounting, financial accounting, general ledger, document entry, this one. Select, right click, add to favorite, or select favorite, add. So now it is there. You just double click. But consultant, it is not possible because so many T codes we have to access. So that's why this option is suitable for end user. Similarly, we are in end user screen or in the presentation layer. So from this presentation layer, we have to move to the application layer or implementation guide or IMG. For that also, we have the T code and path is there. If I will use the path, it's tools, customizing, IMG, execute project. So this is the navigation, through navigation, or you just enter here the T code, SPRO, SAP reference IMG, I am the implementation guide. So this is how we will use the system. Now we can start the configuration. Before doing the configuration, we should have the organization. This Word documents are there. I will share that document. So I'm going to close this one. So first draft your organization structure, then only we can start the system. Okay, first when I will do the configuration, I will scenario based, I will do the configuration, then I will share this blueprint. So in this blueprint you will start working your own. Okay, before that I will demonstrate each part, because real configuration, I want like you should do the real configuration from the blueprint, but before that you should have experience by doing the configuration of some hypothetical data. Okay, and when you, one more thing, when you will do the blueprint configuration, don't post any transaction, because in normal practice after doing the configuration I will show you by posting transaction or report, but when we will do the blueprint configuration, don't post any transaction. Once you are through with the configuration, let's say you are through with FI, then CO, because in real project it's not like I did the GL configuration, immediately I will post the transaction. All the configuration over, then only we will integrate the system, then we will post the transaction. That time we will see how to prepare UAT, how to prepare test scenario, and what are the errors we are getting. Okay, so it becomes a real project for you, almost real project. So that's why in second phase, when we will work on from blueprint, don't post any transaction. Okay, so now hypothetically I am taking or creating a organization structure. So in top, first client will be there, like this is your development client, you have access to 800 client only. After that you have something called operating concern. Okay, operating concern. Operating concern is used for COPA calculation, cost and profitability analysis. So in controlling we have a topic operating COPA. Okay, that time we will work on, or we will create a operating concern. So it is used for COPA calculation purpose, cost and profitability, because before that lot of other configurations are required. Then we have controlling area. So under one operating concern, maybe you have multiple controlling area. Sadia, I know you are from non-accounting background, so don't worry for the time being, because right now we are not using anything accounting. Before accounting session, before the accounting things will come, I will explain the accounting and I will share some documents to you. So right now, awesome. It's pure technical things we are doing. Okay. Okay, it's new for you as well as new for Kishan. So in controlling area, it's mandatory in ECC 6. Okay, even if we will not work on controlling, but you have to configure the controlling area. Otherwise, you can't post in FI. So what is the use of controlling area? By using the controlling area, we can calculate the cost, or we can record the cost, and we can control the cost, and we can do the allocation. So anything related to costing, that purpose controlling area is there, and it is mandatory. So it is costing related, management accounting related. So that is required. Then under one controlling area, maybe you have multiple company code. Now what is this company code? Company code 1, company code 2. As per SAP, this is the smallest organization unit where we are preparing the profit and loss and balance sheets. Okay, that means this is the organization where we are doing the operation, and we are preparing the profit, we are furnishing the profit and loss and balance sheet. And why it is the smallest unit? Because this is coming in the last segment, right? So that is the definition of your company code. As I said, Novartis. Maybe Novartis, it's a group. Okay, so under that group, they have multiple operations or multiple companies. Maybe Novartis food, Novartis pharmaceutical, Novartis, let's say healthcare products. Different companies are there. So these all individual companies are your company code, because from operation point of view, or when we will do the configuration, we have to define the company code, because it's true also, one operation is completely different from another one. Maybe they have multiple operations, but each operation is completely different or it's unique. So that's why we can't use the same configuration what we did for company code 1, we can't use it in company code 2. Maybe it is a manufacturing company, it is a software company, so it's a service company, or it's a trading company, right? So unique configuration should be there. So that's why all our configurations will be always on company code base. For consolidation purpose, we have something called company. Okay, it's a different one, nothing related to operation. For to prepare the consolidated profit and loss and balance sheet, we have a company. Maybe in my example, I can take this as, let's say, Novartis Inc. This is our company, and Novartis Pharma, this is one operation, and Novartis healthcare product or Novartis medical equipment. This is another company code. Okay, so all these entities, all these organizations are registered under company's law. But in SAP point of view, these are all the what you call organization structure, where we will do some configuration and some activities. Maybe for Novartis Pharma, we have multi-location operation. We have multiple plants. Okay, let's say we have plants in South Carolina, in plant in SC, and we have plant in Texas also. So in 2 locations we have plant, or in 2 locations we have operation. Plant is related to MM and SD. So when we will do the MM and SD configuration, that time we will add the plant, or in real project MM and SD consultant, they will take care of that. It is created basically by the MM consultant. Here I am going to take this as business area. Nowadays in new implementation, almost we stop the using business area, but I want you should have idea about the business area. So that's why I'm using, but in future we will more work on profit center, because by using the segment and profit center, we are getting more accurate and more detailed report. So that's why business area almost it stopped. So what you can take business area? It's not like only geographical area you can take business area. You can take operation also one business area. For example, let's say we have sales and service. So sales can be before in like in AC6 in 4.7 we are frequently using this one. Operation like sales you can take one business area, and service can be one business area. But right now we are mostly using segment and profit centers. So here I'm going to take 2 locations. We have office and 2 business area. So these things I managed, or I mapped, I drafted from functional point of view. Now convert these things technically. In system there is nothing called, or if you'll say Novartis Pharma, in table or in database it will not accept this Novartis Pharma. So we have to define every organization structure or each configuration with a technical name, okay, or with some coding. So company should be define with, company should be defined with maximum 6 digit. Why it is 6 digit? I will explain. But maximum it should be 6 digit. And it can be a combination of alphabet. You can take pure alphabet or numeric or combination of alphanumeric. So for example, here I can take, let's say, NB00. Maximum 6 I can take less. Okay. And this data is going to save in a table. Table means in database layer. This is your server. So all the data we are going to store in database layer. And for everything we have a predetermined area is there. Like if you save the data related to company, it will store in some table. Then within this table we have multiple fields are there. This table and field, it's not our ABAPers are working on this, but we should have the knowledge, because nowadays frankly speaking demand is so high from the employer. So if you have like more technical knowledge, then it's good. Okay, so table and multiple fields. So if I will store the company, it is going to store in table. So that's why in material I have also given the all the table information. So it is going to store in the table T880, and the field is RComp. So company data will going to save in this table, and company code is going to save in So this company code should be defined with 4 digits. It can be anything, right? Let's say I will take this as NV10 and this one NV20, NV10 and NV20, and this data is going to store in table T001, field is BUKRS. Okay, let's complete these things in system, then we will see.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So you have to define the system code as well.
System code means it's not system code. It's these codes are decided by the consultant and core team members.
No, that's the company code and the.
It's we decided only. It's we decided. It's not globally.
No, the T880 and T001.
These are the standard.
Right.
It is there.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
It is there. That means by default, when you will save the data related to company, it is going to save here in that table.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the system code for the tables, right?
Yes. We are not defining. It is already there.
No, I know. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So your first point, creating a company, and this is the path, this is the T code, and this is the table information. So let's do this. So right now we are in EG Access. Log into the IMG SPRO. You just follow the path step by step. You can SPRO, click enter. Enterprise structure. Okay, click on enterprise structure. If you click here, there is a documentation there, right? If you click here, it's a document from SAP, like what is enterprise structure. If you want, you can go through this. So we need to click here in this left corner, right? Expand this. Okay, in a project, the prime responsibility or the first company code should be created by the FI consultant. Once company code is there, then other consultant, they will start their work. It's not like same project, multiple company codes will be there. MM will work on one company code, SD will work. It's not like that. Unique company code, then other consultant will be there. So that's why in definition, next one definition. In definition, you will find all the different area for different consultant. Okay, you just expand definition. So FI is there, controlling is there, SD, MM, plant maintenance. So right now we are doing FI, so expand the FI one. Financial accounting, then define company. Define company. Click on this clock symbol or IMG activity. Click on this IMG activity. Okay. Here some already data are there. Some data like it is created by the old users. So you just ignore whatever there. In real system, like in what they will procure the server, so it will be blank. Or maximum 10001 data should be there. That is for reference purpose. So that time it will be a complete new system, blank system for you to work on that. Now you just ignore all the whatever the data is there. Click on new entry. This one, new entry. Okay, new entry. Company is Novartis INC. Novartis INC. Street address, postal code, city. Then country. Here we are getting some small window or some option is there. You just click here, mouse click or F4. Just click here, then we will get a list of countries. In system we have something called NetWeaver. In NetWeaver general settings are there. That means I will select here country USA, so that should be there. Okay, all the general settings related to USA should be there in the NetWeaver, then only we can select this one. So here the list of countries are there. You select your country. You can use the Control F or find option. So country is search. Okay, US. Or if you know the shortcut, you can directly type the US also. Another one, language key. So in which language you can maintain the data, F4 or mouse click, English. Then currency. So these are the general information, but we have to give a technical name, and technical name it is decided NV00. So enter that one.
Sorry, if you suppose for English language key, you enter incorrect code, you thought you know, but suppose you enter ES and it's incorrect. Does it return an error?
No, it's optic.
ES, because ES is Spanish.
Yes.
Suppose you enter EI.
EI.
Not here, directly in the language key.
No, so if it is not there, then it will not accept.
What will it return? What's the error it will return?
It's not finding. If I will
Can you go back to that column and try to enter? Yeah.
Yeah, I will enter this one. Let's say it's not in the system. That's why whatever is there.
Below it gives me error.
Yes,
yeah. I wanted to see how it gives me the error. Yeah.
It's why it's getting. Here we have the NetWeaver. Just above this enterprise structure, we have the SAP NetWeaver.
Yeah.
Just check here. In general settings, whatever we are taking, it's already there. Suppose countries.
Right. It's been set there. Yeah, I understand.
Okay. So this country should be there. If it is not there, then first, let's say this some language is there, EI. So first you need to add here in NetWeaver, then only it will accept there.
No, I wanted to understand if I make a mistake, how it shows me the error.
It will react.
That's all I wanted to see. Thank you.
Yeah. So change the, let's say yes. So technical name is NV00. Now save the data. Control S or save. Okay. So when you will save the data, this transport pop-up message will come. So For me it is something given, something written, but in your case you will get a blank description. That means I have to give a description here, and this number, transport number, generated by the system. Why? Because we have multiple server, multiple clients, and we need to migrate from one client to another client one. So you need to click here on this blank page, create request.
I think you need a short description accordingly.
Yes.
To recognize.
Yes. Otherwise, it will be mix up. So in NB10, we will do a lot of things. So you just anything to identify this configuration. For example, let's say what is. So I clicked on this blank page, new create, new request, and I'm doing the organization structure or enterprise structure. You just type that. Then save. Okay, so now this configuration is going to save in this transport number under this description. Click enter, data saved.
And in this case, NV00, would you call it the group code?
Company. Yes, it's a group company. It's company, right. Company code.
Yeah, but it's not company code.
No, it's
not the company code.
It's not company code. It's right. The company technical name of company. Company code is different.
Right.
Okay, if you want to check, okay, I want to search from the list. Okay, click on the position, enter the company. If you know the code, you just enter this one, or you can search from the list also. Click here. Okay, Control F or find, you just type, it is there. You need detail information, double click on this line or line select. Line select means just click on this corner. Line select, go to details. Okay, now I need the technical information, where it's saved, in which table. To get any technical information or table information, let's say I need the company tab information. You just click the cursor here, then from keyboard use F1, or from here the help button, this one, the help one, help. Okay, click this one. Then here we have a technical information option is there. Click. So this is the table. Table is T880 and field is rconf. T880 field is rconf. Now double click on this field. So what is the field? This one. So in this field I told it will accept 6 because the field length is 6 only. So that's why it is 6. It can't be 7. Okay, field length is 6. And what type of data it will accept? It will, here it is given character. If any field it is given as character, so it will accept numeric and character both. If somewhere it is given as numeric, then it will only accept the numeric. Numeric means only numeric, character means both numeric and okay. So like this you can get, suppose I need the complete information of this table T880. This is rconf is the only the field specific information. So in that case you just enter a ABAP T code SC11. So here enter the table name. So table is T880. So in this table click on display, all the fields are there. So in this table different fields are. So what is there? Client company is there, company name, country name, language key, address, everything is there, right? So all these fields are there. Out of that one field is rconf, global company data. Okay, save it. Next one, create company code. Okay, next one in material, it is credit control area. Credit control area I will do, it is related to receivable. So in receivable topic, I will do that. Just hold this one. Next one, company code. Back to IMG. this one, edit, copy, delete, check company code. Click on this IMG activity. Here two options are there. You can copy from one existing company code or you can create new. Intentionally right now I have not given the copy option. I don't want you should copy. You should create your own. Okay. In future you can do the copy. Copy means all the entire configuration of this company code can be copied. From old company code to new company code, everything will be copied. Okay. If you want to copy, you just double click here, click on this. So you have to define a source company code and a target company code. From company code to company code. Okay. Ignore this one. Right now we will not do this copy work. Double click on edit company code data. New entry. So all options are there. Okay. New entry. Company name is Novartis Pharma. City. Country. Now you know how to search it. US. Currency. USD. So you can take a different currency. For example, let's say your group is in USA and one company code in India. So you can take currency as INR. So it can be a different one. You will get a alert, not error. Alert. Ignore that alert. You can take one. Then language key, English. Give the technical name. So technical name is NB10. Then click on this address. Even if you will skip this one, you need to click here. Then one new window will come. So here we need to update the address. Suppose you just forget to click on this. So you just save here. Automatic that page will come. Save, that page will come. So whatever the state you will select, accordingly your country, whatever the country you will select, accordingly your state will come. And the states are also there in the NetWeaver. So I have selected US, so US states will be there. If you need some more fields, click on this, updates this one. Other information like contact information, email and all you can maintain. Then click OK. Okay, every time in IMG when we will work, you will get this message, transportation. Okay, done. So far we created two things, one company and one company code. So that means in system, so it should be there somewhere for transportation purpose. Let's see. So to check the transportation number, you have the transaction code. Okay, this is the above transaction code SC09. You check here SC09. Click enter. So here it will show only my activities because user is selected this one. Click on display. Okay. So this is the description I have given. So this is which client? Client is 800. I'm working in multiple clients 809, 8010. Okay, and we did the configuration. I did the configuration in 800 clients, so it is there. Transportation number, this one generated by the system. So here one sub transport number generated. and under this two activities are there. I created a company, I created a company code. So this movement, the transportation movement by the basis consultant, so you need to communicate this number to the basis. So he can transport from 800 client to whatever the client you want. But right now I am the owner of this configuration, so I have to release this configuration, then only he can migrate. So how to release? Just click here, the cursor, select this one and use this option, release directly, the truck symbol. Click. So this particular task has been released to request. Okay, one check mark is there. Now the next activity what I will do, system will generate one more sub number. Number will be this one, sub number will be different one. So let's create the business area. Okay, this page like this only, keep it as it is. Let's continue the business area. Next one, define business area. Click on the IMG activity. New entry. Ignore all this thing. Business area is also 4 digits. Okay, let's say I can take like this. Okay. NV TX. Or you can take numericals. So business area is NV SC. So Novartis then NV TX.
You can copy paste also, right? From the
Yes.
previous?
Save. Okay, so company, it's a different table. You can check this TGSB field, sorry, TGSB table and GSBR. So that means 3 data we created. One is T880, one is T001. So company data is there, company code data is T001, and this one TGSB. This is 4 digit. You check this one, click on display. Description is same. Okay, 2 numbers, one more request generated because this one was already released. Under this, one activity is there and it's not yet released. Okay. Next. So we created this company and one company code. This one I will add before controlling configuration. Okay, now also I created 2 business area. So for grouping purpose or for group balance sheet, I need all this company code should be assigned to this company, right? All this company code should be assigned to this company. So that is known as your assignment of company code to company or linking of company code to company. So exactly under definition you will find the assignment. Click on here, financial accounting, assign company code to company, company code to company. Select. Okay, maybe sometime this issue will be, you will face this issue. Actually, this is not restriction from the server, it is the SAP restriction. This thing will arrive when you are working on any enterprise structure and some part of global setting. Like in one particular table, one user should work. So right now it is somebody is working on this table, right? So that means here we have only the option to view the data. We can't do the modification, or we can't work. That means at a time in one particular table, one people should be there. So if you are facing this type of issue, because user 500 users expected, but consultant should be one. So just wait for 1 minute. Maybe that person is working on some. Otherwise, you can. Sometimes what happens, people just open the screen and they forget. So for another user, it will show the log screen. So in that case, you can delete the log data yourself. So suppose I want to delete this person's log data. So go to the transaction code SM. It's SM12. So here take the username. If it is still logged, yes, it is still logged. Take the username. Enter. So this particular table it is logged by that user. You just delete it. Select, delete. Now we can work. Assign company code to company. Click on position. Company code NV10. Companies NV00. So under this same NV00, you can assign one more company code also. For example, I want to assign this, another company code is there. So I want to assign this one. So you just assign here. Okay, so under one company, multiple company code can be assigned. Now save it. Check this message. This company code may be Indian settings are there. So INR may be currency. So when we are assigning, we are getting the message company currency. That's NV00 is currency is USD, and this one 100% it's INR. So it does differ from the company code. Ignore this one. It's not our company code. We should not bother. Save. Okay, now check the. So we assign this company code to company. Some noise outside. Display. Okay, under this, see, we have not released the earlier one, so that's why two activities are there under same transport number. One is your business area and one is assignments. So right now, like so far, we created company code and two business area, and we assigned also company code to company. So same structure like this you can get it from the SAP. So to view the organization structure, transaction code is EC01. Like I want to check this like this hierarchy, this umbrella. So go to EC01 or the copy option, same T code, this one. Okay, we have not used the copy one, this one, where we supposed to do the copy delete check company code. It's EC01 T code. Click on structure, organization structure, navigation. List of company codes are there. You have to search your company code. Okay, how to search? You can use this find option or Control F. So our company code is NV10. Double click on this. So company code is NV10 and it is there in which company? NV00. So under this company, another company code is there. Okay, so that's why it is linked. So once we will complete all the configuration, so you will find lot of other configurations, or it will be a full-fledged you will find. Okay, I can show you another company code where I did all the configuration. You just check here. Company code is TY10. Company is TY00. One controlling area is there. Plant is there. Under plant, then storage location godowns are there. Okay. Sales related some configurations is there. Shipping point and all. So it's a full-fledged configurations are there. So towards end, we will find for this our organization structure like this. Or in real project, respective consultant, they will work on their area and they will do some integrations or mapping. So automatically you will find this hierarchy. Okay. So I hope it is downloaded, that GUI. Hello.
Yeah, mine is downloaded. I haven't installed it though. Should I go ahead and install it now?
Yeah, you need to install, otherwise how will practice?
No, I will, but I didn't want to interrupt this session, so...
Sorry?
Yeah, I'm installing it now.
Sadia, it's completed for you.
What is completed? I have the SAP GUI set up.
Okay, it's already there for you.
Are we doing it?
So
Right.
okay, so you can add this credential. Okay, I thought you were downloading. Okay, so here I have one question. Do I need to assign this business area to company code? This one?
You mean
Should I
both
be
or just
assigned?
one?
Yes, both are single whatever. Like company, like we assign the company code to company. So business area should assign to company code or not? This is one certification question. What do you
I
think?
think we should.
Okay, I will give you the scenario, then you can answer. So you have two company codes, NV10 and NV20. And you are saying that we will assign this business area to company code. So that means, let's say NVTX, we will assign to, let's say company code NV10. So it is expected or it is possible this company code also, they may have operation in Texas. It is expected. That means this pharma, they have office in Texas. And this medical equipment, another one, they may have the operation in Texas. So management of NB10, they are only concerned about their profit and loss. Similarly, management of NB20, they are concerned about their operation. Whereas management, group management, right? This company level, they need total operation. That means total profit and loss of Texas operation. That means that includes both company code NV10 plus NV20. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Now if we'll assign this particular business area to this company code, then what about this company code? Because they have the operation in Texas. So, and you can't, if you assign this to NV10, you can't assign to NV20. Then you have option now, maybe you will create, let's say NTX1, something like that for same location. So that's why business area never assigned to company code. It is created independently at client level. Client level means at this level. Right? So during transaction, any business area can be used with any company code if all are same within same client. Here this company code, and this business area are there in same client 800. So during transaction, you can use this business area to this client, this company code, and this business area to this company code. This one with this. So when we will run the report, first we will run the report business area level. Then you can sort your data company code wise. Okay. You got the answer? So let's say it will post a transaction. So company code is some other company code is there, G10. So there also we can use this business area because this G10 is 800 client in 800 client and our business area is also in 800 client. We can find this here. You can use this for this company code. Okay. So no need to assign this business area to any company code. Here it's I did the manual setting, like manually I am selecting them. In future we will do some other settings, like automatically it will come. If I will select a ledger, then it will automatically come. If I will select a cost center, it should automatically come. But anyway, this business area is independent. We are now nowhere we are assigning the business area to company code. Okay, so we will stop here.
But
Yes.
both locations are assigned to the group code, right? The company ID.
We are nowhere assigning to this. It's independent. So when we'll run
Nowhere
the
at all.
report,
So it's
we'll run the report business area wise. And as company
just
code,
under the client.
yes, as we are using the company code, then further you can sort your data company code wise also. So in report you have the option. You just run the report. Okay, so you run the report by selecting the, like future in you will run the report by selecting chart of account and business area. Further, you can add here company code. That means the data will read first business area, then company code. And if you will not select here company code, then it will take the whole data. Like in this business area, whatever the company codes postings are there, it will take all. Okay, so here so many data there, but in real project it will be like this. You have a company, under company multiple company codes and multiple business areas. So it's like you can say indirectly this is at group level. So this data may be indirectly linked with group because at this level we are running the report because chart of account and all it is created and at this level. Okay, so this is one certification question. So from your material what I completed, or before tomorrow you can complete this thing. So we created a company, control area we have not created, company code, business area we created, then assign company code to company. So tomorrow we will start with global city. This functional area segment and all before, like profit, when we will work on profit center, that time we will do, because it is there in the enterprise structure. So I club these things at a time all together, but it is related to that. So we will start with tomorrow fiscal year variant, global city.
I had one question. Do we have any reading material that you've sent?
Reading material, theory purpose.
Right.
Theories are there, explanation and all there, from running notes, recordings it is there. If you need I can share, but it's there already. You can see everything is there.
Yeah,
If you are
but this is
asking
not
for
in detail.
certification point of view, then that document I will share differently.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking at certification. I'd like to read also in detail, like the book, how the SAP book provides the detail.
Like this, just a second. I will give you the assignment. Maybe you are looking for this type of, just a second.
Sure.
like this. This is what we are looking for, or what material?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
No, what are you looking for? These are the like theory material.
Yeah, sort of, because SAP has their own book, right? What we just did, they have a
That
book
for
detailing
that for
all.
the okay, I got it. You need the tiffin material, like SAP
Yeah,
material,
that's right.
right?
Yes, yes,
So for
that's right.
that, when you will do the like, enrollment with SAP, they will provide you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but anyway, these are the same things. Well, like only the formats are changed. Same thing are there.
Yeah, yeah. Sure. If you can send this, I'll just go through this.
Yeah, I will send this on.
Sure.
Okay. And I will provide you the assignment. Once I will complete the topic, I will provide you the topic wise assignment for your practice purpose. This
Sure.
this one. So it's some kind of workbook. It will help you to practice.
Yeah, that's
Here,
fine.
your screenshots and data are there. Here it's some workbooks because blank space are given, so you can fill your work like it's some kind of project guide. It will
Right,
same steps, everything is same there. Okay.
right.
So it's done that setting, or if you need my help.